open up this over here so I could see if we are doing anything. I've not shared a window yet.
Okay.
But hopefully, I mean, it's just stupid to stream if it's just one of us talking. It just
I know.
it's easily the worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm. I reset my my headphones and my microphone, so
Yeah, maybe it was both of us. So,
yeah.
all right, so we're live now. I'm just going to put my volume up a little bit as to not. Actually, I'm going to mute me so that I can see.
All right.
Don't worry, I'm still here.
Okay.
Hey, you're in it. All right, good.
Okay,
A little
cool.
loud, but I'm adjusting. Wow. All right, I'm sorry. We have one person watching, which I'm really excited about.
We should be.
Yeah. All right. Shit show for the end of 2023. That's all. You know, live streaming to me, it's a pretty stressful thing.
Yeah. It looks so effortless when other people do it. I don't know.
Yeah, everything's so effortless
when
you know how to do it, which
exactly.
I do not.
I do not either.
Yeah, so
I'm just like, yeah, Mark knows what's up.
I've done this a handful of times, and yeah, I'm missing all of my stuff now. But all right, so Antoinette Caicedo, not really sure. You know what? I say we pick another case and we put this particular effort to bed. But okay. I think I just want to share one more time in our group. So if there is anybody who's interested, they at least are going to the correct thingamajiggy.
Mm-hmm.
So what are like favorite unsolved mysteries? Oh wait, I know what I wanted to ask you. I meant to ask you this when we were recording.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this? Remember the big hoopla a few months ago was this thing that was being released, this documentary about behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Whatever came of that? Like, did you ever see it?
I never watched it, but I guess people did watch it, but like nobody really ever said anything about it.
Yeah, and then it was like on Peacock, and I'm like, oh, I don't care. You know.
I'll have to check it out then because I have Peacock.
I've not heard anybody talking about it.
Oh, neither have I. Like, I heard about it when it was, like that big hoopla, like when we first started talking about it and like, oh yeah, we should watch it. And I never heard anything about it after that. Like, I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I won't ever come down and like attack anybody for like trying to do something. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, what was the point of that? Like, it seemed like they were trying, like, to do something. Like, oh, Unsolved Mysteries is coming back.
Yeah, no, I think it was like just like
some behind-the-scenes footage with Matthew McConaughey. That's all. Hey, all right, you know, that guy.
Yeah, that still like blows my mind when I see him. I was like, the first time I ever saw that and I knew who Matthew McConaughey was, I was like, that's not oh my God, it is him.
Oh my God.
And then you watch him get like, oh my God, shot so many times.
Yeah, maybe we should cover that one.
Yeah. I mean, he
People
was caught and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is a freaking weird case the way it starts. Because it starts off as this guy breaking into this woman's house and she like chases him out of her house with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sees like a newspaper article with his picture like months later, or I don't know how long later.
He's like, that's
and
Matthew
she's
McConaughey.
Like, oh my God, that's him. And yeah, he was like flashing himself
really
to like a crowd of kids, and Matthew McConaughey's mom calls the cops, and Matthew McConaughey like takes his car keys so that he can't go anywhere, so the cops can like just come and get him, you know?
Yeah.
And then like he comes, and I'm pretty sure he gets a shotgun first, and he shoots him a few times, and then he goes back to the car. No, I think it might have been a handgun first. Mm-hmm. Then he goes to the car, or his truck rather, and gets a shotgun. Or a long gun,
yeah,
a rifle.
We've seen that famous shot of him carrying the long rifle, right?
Exactly, yeah. And then his sister, Matthew McConaughey's sister, comes home and like just like sees, his name is Larry, not Matthew McConaughey, but
yeah, I have it here.
Watches him die.
Larry Dickens.
Yeah, and just like watches him die.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like horrific. It's a really like moving, like terrifying segment. Like the segment, they did really well on the segment. Like it was crazy.
Now, when was it solved?
Well, so right after it happened, the cops showed up and they took the sister to go and ID him because they had caught him and he was in the back of a cop car. Mm-hmm. And she like attacked him. But she identified him. And like, I don't know what happened. Like they let him go on bail or something. And I was like, that's a brilliant move. And then he disappeared. Then they found him, and he is a creepy looking dude. I have to tell you, like, really? He looks like a flasher,
like the original Larry Dickens. Wait, no, what's his first name? Sorry,
that's the victim. I forget. Edward Howard Bell, I think is his name. The murderer and the flasher. He's just such a creepy looking guy.
Edward Howard Bell.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Oh, yeah,
he's guilty of something. I think that's the case.
I don't know if it's murder or jaywalking, but this guy's done stuff.
He's guilty of something. Oh my God. Yeah, but that was like such a, oh my God. Like I hate watching it.
Really?
That segment, because it's literally so terrifying and heartbreaking. Like the actors are like so on point. Like I know that we've talked about some really this bad guy, right? segments, but this one is like the segment to end all segments. It's
Bryan, Texas.
Yeah, go figure. Texas. No offense.
I wouldn't mind moving to Texas personally, but
oh man,
Larry had been shot 4 times in the chest and once in the head with a .22 pistol. The .22 pistol, that's the caliber of choice, you know.
Yeah, because it's
small, it's cheap,
and it does the most damage because it's not like a through and through. Like once a .22, like. Once you get shot with a .22, like it's in for the whole pinball game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's such a small, little, tiny thing. It's, I guess, a .44 would just blow a hole through you,
right?
Or a .357 Magnum,
right?
Wow.
Yeah, that was a.
But I'd
I
say
hate that
that's
case.
something to cover, you know, possibly. But
Yeah.
there's always like interesting cases.
Yeah, I need to
else?
like get off the ones that are like, oh, did they commit suicide?
Yeah.
or they murdered? Because literally on my list that I have, there's at least 2 of them.
What's like a case that really stands out to you that hasn't been covered?
It's such a good question. Because like we've covered so many great cases.
I really want to revisit the idea of the ones that are
solved.
No, well, the ones that were pulled off of YouTube.
Oh yeah, the missing segments.
Yeah, the missing segments.
I really do too.
They really do something for me because it's like taboo. It's almost like when I was a kid, like when I was in my 20s, I would have to look for, you know, we're talking like in the 90s.
Yeah.
If I wanted to find a particular like foreign film, or if I was looking for like a movie that was impossible to get, I had to go to like in Manhattan. There's this little video store called Kim's Video, and you buy, you know, you'd rent the bootleg of it, or you have to track down the bootlegs. And you know, now, you know, it's like you just fire up the old anything and you could find it. But you know, this is almost like, to me anyway, like a throwback to like, we're not supposed to be seeing this. You know, this was pulled. This is unofficial.
Yeah,
like, but it was out there. It was.
I remember you and I were talking like the different reasons why, like they were pulled. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah.
I forgot what we ended up saying, but. You know, some of them are solved. Some of them, I think probably. Our theory
was that they got something really wrong. Or one of our theories I thought was really, I mean, that's the most obvious one, right? But I think it was that they got stuff right. I think that's what you and I were saying.
My next thing, like, you know, they need to keep stuff back from the public, you know? Mm-hmm. That's what I think a lot. And, you know, some of them, you know, were solved, so it's like, you know, okay, that's fine. But the ones that weren't, I think they got them a little too right.
Or they released that little bit of information that needed to be held back,
exactly,
so that they can like fact check like the person.
Right. Exactly. Yep. And that's what I think. But as far as like a case that stands out to me, I know I was talking to you about it the other day. It was in, I forgot what city of Colorado, and it was, what the hell is his name? Tom Young, and he owned a bookstore. And he disappeared with his dog.
I'm not remembering this at all. You talked to me about this? Tom Young.
Yeah, I did. And I started a thing. So it's Keith Reinhardt and Tom Young. So Tom Young was the first guy. So it's in Silver Plume, Colorado. Silver Plume. I don't know where that is. I've never heard of it before here. But Tom Young owned a bookstore. I believe it was a bookstore in this, you know, like strip mall kind of area. And like he made it a big deal to like tell all of his friends that he was going on like a European vacation for a few weeks. And so, you know, when he didn't like come back, you know, people weren't concerned.
Sure.
But they found the body of him and his dog in the woods in Silver Plume. And they each had a gunshot through their head, which is so sad.
Wait, him and the dog had a gunshot through their head?
Yeah. And
who shoots a dog? Like, you know,
that's what I'm saying. And like,
what's the dog going to do? Identify you?
Yeah. Like they said it was suicide. Which I don't know.
Well, I guess that would kind of lend itself to like, I'm going to kill my dog.
Right. It's weird. But
dog's name was Gus, apparently. It was.
It was Gus?
Yeah, that's what it says. On September 7th, he closed it up and then disappeared along with his dog, Gus.
Yeah, I see it.
Goose, little Gus,
So,
and there's a picture of him and Gus.
oh,
Big black lab, maybe, or something.
yeah, it was either a golden retriever or black lab. I'm not sure. Anyway, so then this guy Keith Reinhardt moved there.
Which seems like a name that we've heard before.
Yeah, this is what I was talking to you about.
That's what it was, yeah.
He took up shop in the same exact place that Tom Young had, but he started running an antique shop. And he left his family back in Chicago because he just wanted to see if like they would be able to, survive, and afford to live there doing what he was doing. And, he was like a neighborhood staple, if you will. Everybody knew who he was. And one day he just started telling everybody, I don't know, around 4 or 5 o'clock, he was going to go climb this mountain.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a mountain climber, he left with just a flannel shirt on and jeans and whatever.
God, yeah.
And, it's about to get dark.
He's like,
He's
I
in
can
Colorado.
handle it.
Yeah, so that night he disappeared and was never seen again.
Which probably happens more often than we realize.
Yeah. It's just weird because there's, they both had the same shop, they both leased the same exact place. People have speculated that the first guy, Tom Young, had heard something from a couple of guys who were in the shop talking to someone else, heard something that he shouldn't have heard, but nobody really has a theory on Keith. His wife was he would never just disappear. His kids say the same thing. It was just not in his nature.
Right.
So it just, it intrigues me.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great. I think it's a great case. I think that we should definitely jump on that one. It seems as though that the town has kind of pushed a little bit of a ghost story to this.
Yeah, I can see how that would happen.
Which doesn't really sit perfectly well with me personally.
Me neither.
But, it's still, we can call out the people who wrote the article.
Yeah.
I guess one of the things we could still discuss if you want, but you know what? I say we investigate, we add that to the list if you want.
Yeah. I already sent you the doc.
Okay.
I think on Tuesday after we recorded. The last time we recorded.
Yeah. Feels like forever.
I know.
So far we have Jack Davis, disappearance of Antoinette Caidido, which is gonna be I'm gonna get tripped up every time. And and Tom Young. Did we add another? I forget. When we were going through the whole debacle with the audio.
Talking about Marianne Perez.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna add it.
The one who she went out with her friends. She was at a bar. She got picked up by the husband and the wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's
apparently they killed her.
So I say we, definitely put a pin in these stories for. I mean, we still have some stuff recorded, of course, that we'll release in the new year.
Yes.
So I guess moving away from that particular thing. We have no one listening to us right now, but hopefully people will come and listen. But we have a million ideas.
Definitely.
And one of those ideas is what we're doing right now. And we're just kind of curious if this is something that we organize, is this something you would want to participate in? If we actually did set up a phone line, not a phone line, what am I talking about? We're going to have the phone guy come in and wire up a telephone. I'm going to call our line 1. Yeah, it's like,
it'll be like Frasier.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Yeah, actually, I have a phone effect here. It's like, hey, Mark and Amy, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
It sounds great, actually. I love it.
But yeah, I mean, is this something that you could see working? Yeah, I think it also might be good for us to do this maybe once a month to kind of see where we are, some new ideas, how are the old ideas working, and maybe some ideas for the future episodes.
Definitely.
And yeah, I mean, we have a ton of ideas, none of which I can think of right now. But this is the kind of thing that we did want to discuss. And one of the things I would love to do is to have like an Unsolved Mysteries kind of watch party. But I think that Film Rise would have a conniption. Like, how dare you? Showed for free. It's for free over there.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It would be a cool idea.
You know what? I think it's a blessing that Film Rise doesn't come after this podcast.
I know.
As is. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why they would. I mean, it's not like we're using any of their stuff. We barely reference Unsolved Mysteries. Actually.
I know, right? Just the cases.
I think what kind of what we try to like bring to the table with this podcast is the allure of the show in the first place.
Right.
The fact that these cases might not have been in front of us personally if it weren't for the show. So we have a lot of love and respect for the show, of course.
Definitely. Absolutely.
But what else? I mean, there's just so much. So
I know. We've talked about so much and I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, and I'm still nervous that your audio is not going over to YouTube, even though I think it is.
Oh boy.
Next time it'll be a lot smoother.
It definitely will.
But yeah, so I guess we wrap it up, Amy. Thank you so much for getting together tonight.
Sounds good.
To those who did stick around before, I really do appreciate it if you're listening to this. And
yes, thank you.
Send us your feedback. Be nice. We're learning how this hardware and software work together, or rather, doesn't work together. And I'm going to go delete that other video that has me talking to myself. Yeah, like that's just embarrassing that it exists, you know.
Well.
Right, Amy? And it's like just complete silence.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Jeez. All right. Well, that's exactly what it sounds like. Like I'm a lunatic just talking like he has no friends.
Oh man.
You can't even find a co-host. Oh my God. But well, thank you again. I'm gonna disconnect this streaming.